think we're live. Uh-oh. Don't do it to me. No. Is it going to play like commercials and stuff for me? It is. Ugh, gross. Oh well. We can get over that. Alright, let me get stuff set up as per usual. Man, it feels like it's been a minute. I'm all like rusty. Whoops. Okay, well apparently AA never starts his events. Good to know. Starting mine. We're live. Cool. Does that work? Does it show? Happening now. It's happening. It's happening! It's happening. Perfect. Let's see, what else am I missing? I just got to get the chat up. And we're good. There's like some sort of non-copyright music in the background because every time I get copyright strikes, and that's kind of getting old. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that's okay. Cool. Let's put on dark mode. There we go. Stop blinding myself. Can you see everything? Yeah, for the most part. All the important stuff. Can delete that, whatever. I had a picture on there and apparently it stopped working. That's fine. Let's see. Is that too big? That's too big. Stick to 125. Is there like... There must be a way. Oh, there is. You just type it. 135? Yeah, that's pretty good, right? 140? That's even better. Perfect. We'll work with that. Chill instrumental. Breaking copyright. All right, cool. How nice. Hey, Muffin Man. First in chat tonight. How are you doing today? You having a good Friday? That's because you care the most. I know the truth. What a brother. Yeah, man, you've been busy, right? How's work been treating you? Are they being nice to you? I feel like that world isn't nice to people enough. And I hope they're being nice to you, because you are a nice guy. Not the type that like never gets laid nice guy, but like an actual nice guy. Hey! Oh, that's weird. People are coming in a weird part of our conversation, Muffin. What's going on, Alec and, or I should say Yolik. XX Yolik. I love your 14-year-old name. And of course, the infamous YTP, 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 YTP. You know, I'm still waiting for the day where you add another YTP to your name. Like every day, every week, it just gets one longer. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear work's been good, because it sucks when it's not. 14 times 3 plus 1. Well, well, maybe not obviously. I had a good week. I think you guys did too, right? Alec, I saw you bragging today. I love to see it, by the way. Was that 42%? What was it? What did you have? You had like my age in gains. Yeah, I'm so thirsty. And it's still dry January, unfortunately for me. That's like fuzz on this microphone. You guys can't even see the mic. Can you see it if I touch it? No, apparently not. It's like magic, isn't it? You did kill it. Can't afford what? Another YTP to your name? Yeah, dude. What was your biggest play this week? Oh god, it is spa music. I don't know, dude, because it's like, shoot, I don't want people falling asleep. How about Indian music? Is that better? Oh, it's gonna play more commercials though, isn't it? There we go. Hey, Daily Sight, another big winner this week. You also had a good week, didn't you? I think you did. It's hard to keep track of everybody. Everybody's like, almost everybody was blasting their wins. Yeah, what was your biggest play this week? Oh, expensive. Expense YouTube Premium. Yes, I do that actually. I would recommend doing the same. It is, it improves life enough where I feel like it's a business expense. Also, I have a YouTube channel. So I guess like by default, I can easily argue that it's a business expense. Glug, huh? Glug's a good one. What did you have in Glug? Like, well, I would assume just shares then, right? Is that not how you pronounce it? Yeah, CoreWeave X was good. I'm still holding on to mine. What did CoreWeave X end at, actually? I should put Glug into my 2X. Let me do that. I don't know why I didn't have it already. We'll just click the button. There we go. And let's sort this so we can look at the big numbers up top. Dude, what the hell is going on with ASTS and X? Insanity. CoreWeave, yeah, CoreWeave was a big winner all week, really. Like, the fact that CoreWeave got, hey, look at that, above my cost basis again. Hurt my soul to watch this. Dude, talk about catching a falling knife, by the way. This is classic knife falling. But, did you know what this is? This is like also classic. Not the cup and handle that you might think it is, although it kind of is. This wedge is real, but I'm going to hide those actually. Because I don't want to look at those right now. It's this one and this one. This has a name to it. Any guesses? Have not fully calculated, but pulled 3.5. What? Nice, dude. On premiums alone, dude, my return's only like 1.5. Killed it. Yeah, dude, that is incredibly substantial. We need to get back to talking about the. It's starting to fund now, I think. Okay, this is not gonna work. This commercial bullshit, but it's gonna do that because I'm logged in, not under my YouTube Premium name. All right, we'll leave it go. We'll let it go a little bit longer here. But yeah, this is called an Adam and Eve double bottom. And I find it funny because, so basically, it's not perfect, but basically, the Adam and Eve double bottom is, by definition, this. This is what it looks like. It looks like this. It's a pointy thing and a round thing, which I find funny. Like, I look at that, I'm like, I get it. We could do restroom signs with these shapes somehow. But yeah, that's what it is. That port is growth. Premiums was 1%. Okay, all right, cool, good. Oh, I don't actually know what my port growth was. So like, that's actually kind of hard to track. I don't. Well, at least on my sheet. Muffin, you might do it on yours. Hey, Kodu. Welcome back from the dead, ASPI. But yeah, I just track year to date. Right now it's really clean, which I like, and it's huge. Huge! Which has been kind of nice to see after a huge decline. So yeah, anyway, Adam and Eve, double bottom. If you hadn't seen it, that's what it is, and that's what CoreWeave did, among others. But it also kind of makes a cup and handle. Like, if you see this go up, but volume down here is not going up, you can still call this a cup and handle. In fact, I wonder if... Oh, I don't want to bring this up over here. You're going to see all... Oh, no, you're not going to see all the crap I download. That's good. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I know I have it somewhere. Hold on. Just hold your horses. Documents, maybe? Yes. There we go. So, well, I went. How does it know? It went. I didn't touch anything, and it went straight to the middle of the document, cup and handle. They're like, we know this guy. We don't need to waste our time here. We're just gonna go for it. But look at the chart. Look at the chart. So I think a lot of people would look at this chart and be like, it's not a cup and handle. But again, a lot of it has to do with the volume profile should also mimic a cup and handle. So you can see it can go up pretty high in the middle. Now, it doesn't touch the lip, fine. this is kind of the big key is it's a rounded bottom, but again, you can see this isn't rounded exactly. So when we look at what we've got, you could definitely qualify this as a cup. Now, again, for the lip, well, okay, maybe it's not at the lip. Maybe the lip is up here. We could argue it's like something up here. Yeah, we're not touching the lip in that case. So yeah, I think it counts. It's definitely a potential cup and handle. So I think there's a lot of people who right now are just expecting us to go all the way back up to here. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm on the 2X. I should go to the underlying here. But, you know, I think obviously we're going to retest here a little bit. These 95Cs got called away. Excited about that. That was perfect. And, oh, I lost everything over here again, of course. All right, let me get back to, what did I miss? 5.5% gains on the port. Nice, dude. 1% premium. Very good. You do it on yours. I thought so, yeah. Okay, I think it's difficult to track effectively for me across, well, I guess I just do the balances for 5 different accounts, which is what's annoying, so I don't really want to do it. Yeah, that is the exact chart. It looks very similar, doesn't it? All right, so anyway, CoreWeave. It's been beautiful. This has been a real nice run back up. We've got one last little thing that we got to do here, and that is get right above this little purple line. We got to just keep zooming in until we can see that purple line in all its glory. How far can you zoom in on TradingView? Holy cow. It just keeps going. Oh, there we go. We hit the max. It's basically 2 candles. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3 data points for the 200 SMA. I guess this one counts too. 1, 2, 3, 4 data points for the 200 SMA on the daily. It's on the daily, of course. And also, look at the little blue down here. Institutions are buying. Whale flow is coming back. I guess you know what? I should probably make those bigger. Make it a little bit easier to see. You could see basically the whole screen. That's fine. I don't think the watch screen doesn't matter too much there. But yeah, check it. I mean, that's the good stuff right there. Whale flow, picking back up. Institutions, picking back up. It's a good sign and a good time to be in these stocks. I also, data centers everywhere. NBIZ, we got another good one here. We survived the gap fill, which only went halfway. And I think that's, I think it went further than it should have, to be honest. So this is whatever. But yeah, we are just like bull flagging our way out of this over and over and over. And I'll take that. I don't know how high we'll get in the next couple of weeks. I'm thinking, 110 might be some resistance. It has been historically congregation point of sorts, you can see, but realistically, I don't see much stopping us. My 120Cs, I'm probably gonna just let those get called away. That's above cost basis, that's fine. But I do think the next real resistance is gonna happen here at the previous all-time high of 135 and change. I guess it would be the all-time high close price. So if we look at this, what do we close at? 135.46. Okay, we could change that to be exact. For posterity purposes, it's so close. 135.49. I didn't need to do any of this. This is a total waste of time. But whatever. Now we know. We know it's exact. That was pointless. But then you got other data centers. Who's in iron? IREN. So far away. It's also doing a bit of a cup and handle, maybe. But look, whale flow. The other thing about iron recently is like everyone's talking about it. Sir Jack's talking about it. Long's talking about it. Long just got out of shares, but well, I don't know if I should share that or not. Sorry. And a few others that are all into it. So, hello. My wife just got home apparently. But yeah, it's another big one that is cup and handling and looking pretty good. So I think, what else are we missing? I guess Galaxy would be the other one that is data center-esque. Is it? I feel like it's a mix of things. It's yeah, I mean it's partial. I don't honestly know. Like percentage of the business, this is something I should look into a bit more. What percentage of the business is the AI infrastructure stuff? It's I know it's a lot of things. Hey DT, welcome. Good to see you. Let me catch back up. Whoops. Uh, did you mess up Cipher? I don't know. I don't even look at Cipher. Music is loud. Thank you for telling me. Is that better? I could just turn the music off. This one is very loud. Look, it even makes a loud looking sound, noise and stuff. We're just going to turn it off. All right. Leave. Stop it. Okay. Better? Now we don't have to worry about that at all. You got it. I appreciate your complaints. Somebody's got to tell me. Next ER is going to be insane for DCs. I don't know, man. I think we're already there. I don't know if the earnings are going to... I don't think DC pricing is based on earnings at this point. I think it's much more based on what everybody sentiment is saying about data centers and AI. And I think if the world becomes bullish on AI again, it's just rocket ships everywhere. I mean, all we got to do in that case is break out the rocket emojis, which I don't even know where they are in this list, but we're going to have to find some now. They've got to be here somewhere. We have rockets in the emoji list, don't we? Okay, we got planes. There it is. Boom. Just like, yes. I mean, and we're going at a much better angle than what this one shows. There we go. It's much more like that. Look at that. That's what data center plays are doing right this second. Oh, that is a weird rocket in YouTube. How did you make that, Muffin? I've never seen that ever. 3, 2, 1. That's a cooler rocket. How did you get a cooler rocket? You don't think Galaxy is data center? I think Galaxy is related to AI and data center plays, and as well as NBIS and CoreWeave. Hey, Foregunner, good to see you. So anyway, that's kind of my take on this grouping. Now I don't know a lot about miners that are converting over to data centers. Cipher is one of those, right? Aren't they now like getting into data centers? I don't know why anyone's interested in Cipher at all. I don't touch it. I look at this and I'm like, I don't like miners. I don't like Mara. What was Mara? Mara was one of the big ones, right? Which, ugh, dude, this stock has just been gross since I've paid attention to it. Like let's go to the monthly. Ugh. Just look at it. It's just like, and there's a lot of volume too. It's just terrible. Why do you guys touch this stuff? What is wrong with you? Y'all need Jesus. I think that's what they say. Hut. Oh, Hut's the other one. Yeah, I never touched Hut either. I know they've been on a run, obviously, by that trend line I drew a while back on, and like we realize this actually. I can see when I drew that line, which is kind of cool. So this line was last drawn on December 5th, which was somewhere back. Dude, we drew that here. That's a pretty good guess, wouldn't you say? I don't remember. Maybe I should put notes though. Why did we draw it here? Because it would have been like somehow connecting just these 2 points. Maybe on the daily? Probably on the daily. Yeah, connected some points on the daily. But that has held up pretty well. What's interesting though is when you see this, it starts getting wilder and wilder swings. Lilly did this. I know, a completely different industry, but same deal on the trend line. Like it started getting just further and further away and wrapping around it. I don't think it's going to continue here. I drew this for a while, but it stopped, and Lilly has stopped. But just, yeah, it's amazing how it can follow a trend line like that. And then what was the other one? Bitminer, Bitfarms. Another one that I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't understand why you would want to invest in. It's like a self-serving business, isn't it? But now the whole data center play, yeah. This is the validation of transactions on the blockchain. I'm sorry. I just don't understand how they're going to make $1 billion worth of market cap in money. You know what I mean? Like, do they make any money? No, no, they don't. How are they going to make money? Nobody knows. But we're going to invest in them because they're, I don't know. Average advisor showing up. Love to see it. Haven't seen you. I'm not. Have we ever seen you in the chat under this name? I don't think so. So sorry, I wasn't talking bad about your stock, Iron. Don't worry, Iron. I said was good. Cypher's. Why is Cypher number 2 for you, dude? I don't get it. ONS, yeah, I like ONS. I'm all about ONS right now, and even this back test going on, I'm all about it. I still like it. The weekly. I think this is where you zoom out and you just say like, yeah, dude, still bullish. Higher highs. We'll make a higher low here, and then I think we'll keep busting through. And I'm gonna watch this not get called away for 6 months. Cypher's one of your oh man. Okay, well I don't get it. That's all I'm saying. I'm ignorant to it. But I don't see how these people make money. I just don't get it. Oh yeah, the TD app. Should I do it? Average advisor is gonna yell at me, but maybe I'll just maybe a little peek see. I put all my trades into it. Where did I put? Oh, hold on a second. I gotta open it up over here. Do I? Yeah, it's under trading. Boom. Yeah, that's my trade journal. Oh, who mentioned me? Look at all these notifications. Did you know there's notifications? I bet you didn't know there's notifications. Yeah, pretty sweet, I'd say. Hold on a second here. I lost all my chat and stuff. Hey, Draps, good to see you, dude. Oh, we got Silver in the house, too. Nice. Yeah, no, I think... Dude, can I see your holdings? You have it here, don't you? I don't think I can click. We can click on other people's stuff yet. Oh, look at this. Number 1 on the leaderboard, by the way. Where's Bob Dog? What's going on? All time. Yeah, I have a bajillion holdings, but I do not have Cypher. I do not. It's not there. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I should be showing any more of this. Sorry. Maybe I should stop that. Where you yelled at. Yeah, it's amazing. I just I'll bring it up for another second. I am using it full time. I'm also doing my trade tracker just in case, things get deleted or broken. But it's been pretty full time for me, and there's some cool stuff that you can do. And let's see. You can do Discord chat summaries. Oh, I'm not even going to do it. Yes, it works. It does work. But I'm not gonna do it because it costs money. It costs money for us to run it, so I'll hold off. You'll just have to imagine it. Maybe we'll bring it up again later. We'll see. Let them see. Oh, okay. What is today? Friday, right? All right. Last 24 hours. Let's do it. We'll let that run in the background for a second. So, okay. It's almost 8 o'clock. So thanks everybody for joining tonight. It's been a fantastic week, if you ask me. It's been a fantastic 16 days, really. I don't know if there's been really more than, one red-ish day? And I'm pretty sure the red days, I ended up flat, like 0. I think I had one red day of minus 0.05%. That was kind of cool. Uh-oh. Oh, we broke it. All right. Hey, go tell Salty we broke it. Or I broke it. Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing here. Let's just do the last 2 hours. See if that causes the same issue. If not, we'll tell Salty. He'll fix it for us. Oh, because I don't have the channels. Got it. He's changed it. Oh, he does. He does have it. Talking about profit-taking strategies and individual stock positions. We talked about taking profits on GLGG. Well, that was obviously Yolik. We know that. Yolik talking about GLGG got the AI plug. and exit strategies for leaps. $40 for 30% gains. Okay, interesting. Oh, OSS. Oh, TurnerTron mentioned OSS. Hey, it's pretty good. There wasn't a whole lot to look at actually, but yeah, this must have just been in general. That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff, man. Alec getting a shout out from AI. Okay, cool. Well, back to this. For those of you using the dashboard, it is updated. There wasn't a whole lot to change, but it is updated, and now you can start entering. Crazy for me is year to date 16% in 16 days. That's wild. I mean, if I could do that all year at that rate, I think compounded, that's just an absurd number, like actually absurd number. And I don't anticipate that. First big week in a while, though. Well, both the last 2 weeks. I didn't do a whole lot in December or November, most of it anyway. So it feels good to be more active again, putting some caps on things, and rebalancing a little bit has started to become more of interest to me. Most notably, I've rebalanced on data centers, as we're talking about. NBIS and CoreWeave, I realized, made up like 35 or 40% of my holdings between CoreWeave X, NBIL, which is a smaller position now already, NBIS, CoreWeave, which had another 800 shares to it. And yeah, it was like 30%. I was like, I think that's a little much for what I want on diversification. And I'm trying to move the data centers into something data center adjacent, which is energy and specifically nuclear. Now, for me, I was looking at a couple of different stocks for nuclear, and I settled on SMR. Now, I looked at SMR and I looked at nuclear NKLR, which is Terra Innovatum Global. And the key difference for me, and this may be incorrect, I honestly didn't put a ton of effort into looking this up, but it was real simply they're based in Italy. Yeah, Lucca, Italy, or Luke. I don't know how you say it, whatever. And I got out of it or didn't get into it because I preferred in the timeline that we live in right now with the administration being so pro nationalism, whatever. I thought that we were better suited to have a US based play for me on the energy sector. Now, SMR being based out of like Connecticut or something, I forget where. It says right here. Well, Oregon. Not Oregon, as I've been told by Oregonians. This is like a great entry. I mean, you zoom out here a little bit and you go, holy, we're at like entry level to the stock price. I like it. I like it here. I was actually hoping to get in during this gap. I thought we might fill this gap this week, but we did not. So instead, I sold some $20 CSPs, which was aggressive, I thought, at the money. And you can see we finished just out of it. So I'm going to take the CoreWeave proceeds, which was whatever, like $5,000 on top of the original position, maybe $7,000, something like that. And I'm probably going to put most of that into SMR, so AKA NuScale. So I like the idea of the small modular reactors, which is what SMR stands for, and I think this is a good play. That's my take on it. So let me catch back up to you guys are talking a lot today. I love it. Are you? Oh, AA still plugging the website. Love to see it. Daily, we do need testers. We're going to be testing. Don't you worry about that. Iron wrapped up for you. You're getting out of it, or are you like looking at something else? Alec, are you in SMR too? Nice. Cypher just lags Iron on the charts. Does it? Ooh. Okay. Cupping. Okay. Not cupping yet, but it's lagging it, so it might. Actually, it might be. I don't know. SMR is your first DD. Did you post it? Where did you post it? Is it on the Discord? I love how everybody asked for a DD channel. Like, oh my God, it'd be so amazing if we had a DD channel. So we made a DD channel, and it was used for a solid day and a half. And now the last post is, I think, like 40 days ago. You guys kill me. What do you have in SMR? How come you didn't? You never told me this. Where'd you get in? I still have an alert where if we drop, like if we were to fill this gap on Monday, I might not even CSP. I might just buy shares. I have to advertise the DD channel. You guys asked for the channel, and it's there. Okay, I'm gonna read. Alec, I will read your DD this weekend. I promise. I am curious what your thoughts are on it, but I like the idea of it. I do need to put some more effort into my own DD, so I will start that by reading your DD to give me a nice jump off point. But I think it's a good play to get into something in the energy sector. And I don't like traditional energy companies. I think, a lot of those they remind me of just dividend stocks. Like they're never going to blow up. They could blow up, not in the way that I meant. They're never going to blow up like stock price wise. There will be times, right, when they crash, and you can make a recovery play, almost like SVIX, where they might have a big drop, and you can get into it and ride it back up because eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, they're making money again after they fix whatever issue caused them to drop. But otherwise, I don't really want to mess with traditional energy. I don't want to mess with solar. Trump is obviously very anti-solar. So nuclear makes the most sense. And Oklo is overpriced. I don't like Oklo. I'm not a big fan of Sam Altman stuff, even though I use ChatGPT all the time. But I do think that, Oklo is just overhyped, and SMR is an existing company that has revenue. I think AA hit it pretty well right there. Bloom Energy. I don't know Bloom Energy. I'm probably not going to touch it because I guess I should look at it. BE? Is that your bay? Get it? Okay, well, here's the problem with them. This is the problem with them. I'm not touching them. I'm not touching them up here in outer space, or on the weekly, they're a mile and a half away from the 8 EMA. The monthly is a giant bull flag, though. Holy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is a thing I should touch. But no, more likely, I'll just stick with SMR. I like SMR for the upside, the value play. Look at the whale flow there. Wow. That's legit, huh? An institution just wrapped up. Could be a thing. Oh, hey, look. Salty just said hello. So, yeah, maybe I'll check them out. But for now, SMR is who I'm looking to move in with over here. I'm going to have to keep clicking off Salty. He's typing a lot. That's helpful. Nat Gas? No, I don't want Nat Gas. I have a history with Nat Gas, so not stock history with Nat Gas. Is EOS Nat Gas? Battery storage. You guys are throwing me off with all these different tickers all of a sudden. What's going on, Justin P? Just in time. Forum on Tuesday night. Huh? On what? How do I turn off notifications? I should turn that off at some point. Not going to do it right now, though. Okay. So, back to what we were talking about. Reorganizing a little bit on peeling off wins. I think a lot of people have started doing this. Peeling off some wins to redistribute a little bit. I'm not doing that with Reddit right now. However, I've started really aggressively covering Reddit at the money. And I plan to continue to do that with RDTL in the background, which is a significant position between RDTL and Reddit. I mean, that's again 30% in total of what I got going on here, and actually more. Excuse me. So pulling back a little bit on Reddit's okay. I'd like it to be 25-ish% if I got to pick an exact number. It doesn't really necessarily work out that way. And that's mainly because I'm just doubled up on it between the 2X and the underlying. Now, that doesn't change my position on Reddit at all. I am still mega bullish on it. There was news that came out this week about Dig.com coming back, which made me laugh because I originally used Dig.com in like 2004 or 5. I don't actually know when Dig.com came out. I'm pretty sure that's when I used it though, because I was working at Northrop Grumman at the time, and working at Northrop Grumman before all these filters exist, and you could go on Dig.com, which was pretty amazing. But it got awful after. It was great. It was a great platform, and then Kevin Rose, he tried to force monetization on it, and Reddit didn't. And everyone, he just like the algorithm changes and some dirty stuff of how they promoted posts, and you can pay to promote posts, rubbed everyone the wrong way in the wrong time of the internet. Like now, maybe that would have been fine. So now they're trying to remake that platform, but Kevin Rose has left a bad taste. People still remember the guy, and they're like, ugh, can you believe he's starting to get like the name? They needed to change the name, is really what they needed to do, and just said Kevin Rose has got nothing to do with them. But anyway, I don't think any immediate or long term threat to do with it because the store of information that exists on Reddit would dwarf anything from dig.com for the better part of 1,000 years, I'm pretty sure, with how long it would take for them to grow, to get a sizable user base that's contributing and actually like trying to make it something long term. I don't see it. And no matter how much you're going to make or try to incentivize people to use it, like think of the number of communities that exist on Reddit. What are you going to do? Like you don't actually care about trying to attract the default subs that aren't even going to be default in the long term, but that have like 100 million followers on it because like they're just bots on those. You want the big sub communities, like the random stuff, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a big one off the top of my head. Wall Street Bets, I guess. But even like the smaller ones where you got diehards, like that's what you want. But these people, I don't think they're going to move. Anyway, long story short, I don't see any real threats to Reddit. The only real threat to Reddit is advertising revenue and efficiency of that capital and the belief of the people buying those Reddit ads if they're productive or not and having high converting results or not. And as long as they keep showing growth there and on the user base, dude, they keep going up. They will keep going up. Then long term, obviously the data plans that they can start making better agreements with the different AI systems is going to be huge, but they haven't figured that out yet. Although they are starting to lock down the information, and I think that's a key first step. Reddit scares them at this price. Dude, Reddit scared them at $80. Come on, let's be honest here, right? I mean, come on, we can be honest. You guys are still talking about energy stocks, NRGV. I don't know enough about it. I got to look into it some more. What I can't believe, Muffin, if you never got out of Reddit, I'm just saying you'd be a millionaire, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. It's not my fault that didn't happen. Charted it today. Yeah, I think let's look at the Reddit chart for a minute. My Reddit chart is very colorful. I hope you all like it. I added another basketball, I want you all to know, and it was perfect. Somehow, I don't know why, but this silly line has turned into this just repeat support and resistance. And maybe it was a fib in the past. I don't know. It doesn't really line up with the fibs. But this like 230 line has been a point of just constant support and resistance. Amazing how that works. And originally I had this throwback up here. I had a line that went off the edge of the cup and it bounced off something like that. But I since redrew the throwback out of copium, which I can't put copium. They don't have like the good, you know what I mean, the good ones. There's no, what would be the closest to a copium emoji in the standard emoji list? Any thoughts? I mean, like this one, maybe? No, that's kind of weird. No, that's going to be in my commonly clicked ones now, isn't it? Damn it. I don't know. What? Gnome is here. What's going on? Showcase. Well, you're still like waking up from the dream that was Italy, I'm pretty sure. Welcome back. I hope the cookies have been good. I guess copium would be close to this one, the mask one, right? There we go. This was my copium throwback where I changed it now to here. Which could make sense because everything bounces off this line for I don't know what reason. And if we rock it from here, which we have that emoji too available, like life is good, we'll be happy. We got to get it on the right angle, otherwise it doesn't count. I'm putting way too much effort. Where's the rotate thing? That's like 1 pixel. There we go. Ah, perfect. There we go. All right, so the rocket ship is on the line. That's my copium. Classic. We talked about this just a bit ago. I lost it already. There it is. Look, cup and handle. We got the breakout handle, breakout through the lip, throwback to the line, which is supposed to be the breakout, and then off you go. They should have a rocket emoji here. Come on, Fidelity. Really dropping the ball here. And I mean the ball. Like, you get it. But yeah, I think, this could be it based on how the chart resolved. But this is really, this happened due to the analyst downgrade. It wasn't really a downgrade. Well, it was a downgrade. Okay, it was a downgrade. It probably says it here, actually. Nope, doesn't really call it out too well. By the way, earnings was announced, and I wonder how they determine how this gets updated. It's on Tuesday the 5th. I'm going to make a note of that right now, actually. Tuesday, or Thursday the 5th, I guess. Yeah, this is 2025/Q4 earnings. I hate reading stuff sideways, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So we've got a little bit of time. I will say I'm hesitant to cover. Oh, I messed up the angle somehow. I'm hesitant to cover. There we go. Oh, look, I fixed it. But I do think that it's important to protect and hedge here a little bit. So I plan to probably cover my non-taxable shares. And well, I may cover both. I may cover my taxable shares at like something ridiculous. 300, 315 maybe, like legit up here. And then my non-taxable, prior high, maybe we'll do. So somewhere over here. I'm not sure what those prices are right now. I guess we can look. I wonder if they've been updated though, like the IV, because it would be February 6th that would matter. And what do we got here? We've got 300 is 1%. Oh yes, that's nice. I might do that. Hey, Ein, good to see you too. Yeah, I think this would be really interesting for my taxable shares. And then my non-taxable, dude, $6 for 275. Yes, please. I might actually, I don't know, somewhere in this range of 275 to 280 is likely where I'll cover. And then I'll leave RDTL uncovered again. And I know it's interesting. People talk about, yeah, you got to watch out about decay on RDTL, which is true, by the way. You want to see where it was very clear? Check out this. This is ASTS. And then look at ASTX. So look at this. See this cup that is way up here, and the top here is 99, and the top here is 120. If you go to ASTX, what do you see? The top here is 100, and the top here is 102. So we know the decay is real and affects the price over time. But like, if you got in here at the bottom, on the double bottom somehow at like 24, guess what? You made 4x. It's pretty good. So you can hold it for a bit. And at the bottom here on the double bottom, you went from 53 to 100. You made 2x. So it does still work, but the decay happens in the volatility. So keep an eye out for that. And long term, yeah, over the course of, this was October to January, you can see the effects. But at the same point, you can still come out pretty far ahead. So it's okay. My whole point is I don't mind holding RDTL knowing there's decay in it. But again, it still will capture the upside should I cap myself up via CCs. Alternatively, I think leaps are fine, but I really like personally having the shares versus the representation of shares via leaps. And that's just a personal, I like the fact that they don't time out. They may decay over time, but they don't time out. Whereas leaps, I've got a few that are eating away at me, TTD and UNH. And actually, most of my leaps are red. I was looking at them earlier. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I got to wait. Good thing I have till January. But the fact is, they can go to zero, right? And I know you can roll them and all that, but that means you're reinvesting more money when you roll into leaps. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Whereas the shares, at any point, I can convert them back to cash, even if it's a year out, even if there's some decay. That's kind of my take on it. I think to each his own a little bit on that one, so do what's right for you. But that's been my take over time as I mess around with them. All right, let me catch back up. What were you talking about? Got a jet? Muffin, no! It's good seeing you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. When you're covering, are you picking based on premiums or based on what you want for the underlying asset? Well, I want it to go to 1 million, but I also want to make money. So it's somewhere in between. I have UNH leaps, by the way, yes. See ya, AA. Thanks for stopping by. So like for Reddit, that's probably the best one to look at because it's so immediate and there's some big potential here, considerations to make. So in this case, I'm looking at a few things. I'm looking at where could it reasonably go? And the IV is so crazy on Reddit that I can go to 300 and get 1%. That's insane. That's insane. From 230, 70 up is a 30% gain. I don't know, something like that, right? And I mean, I could still make money on it. Not to mention the share appreciation would be plus $70. That's insanity. So it's the mix, right? Everything is the mix of how badly do you want to hold the shares? How badly do you want to get called away? Because I don't want to get called away on the taxable shares, lest I pay $255 long-term capital gains on that $255 of appreciation from 45. Well, in that case, I'm probably going for the low delta. In the case of the IRA shares or the non-tax affected shares, in that case, it's okay because Reddit does this. I mean, look at it all over the place. So go ahead, take the shares. I'll probably get them back cheaper. This is like, I don't think people appreciate, maybe they appreciate it. I'm not sure people always really think about the golden rules. Number 2 of stocks don't only ever go up and stocks don't only ever go down. Here, in this moment, people will react like the stock is going to 500, right? Why? I don't know. Because they feel this momentum, and we're notoriously bad as humans at picking exit points, especially on the upside, by the way, because the upside has very limited information that we can use. The fibs are one of the best things that we can use, where there's these patterns that we can look at to say, it's probably going to experience resistance at the 2618 fib because patterns. Now, on the downside, we have history, and we could say, oh, well, there's strong support at 230 for I don't know what reason, and then the double bottom down here at 179, 180, gaps, things like that, right? Like there's different tools that we can use. But on the upside, man, we're so, I don't want to call it greed, because I honestly don't think it's greed. I think it's FOMO, fear of missing out to the upside, which ultimately caps your upside. And that is a beautiful thing about covered calls that I don't think we really hit on enough is they force you to take profit at times where, like, let's say you're in this run up right here and you got tapped out at 245. I don't know, like somewhere over here. And then it ran to 260. In the moment, you're probably going to feel like, I can't believe I was so dumb, right? Like, which is a nonsensical thing to feel because we're not in control of the stock price. And then what happens? Well, it dropped all the way down to 225. So not only could you have gotten back in, you could have put a good to close limit buyback at 230 or 225, some round number, and it would have filled in this case. It would have filled. And you just, how can you know? How can you know it's only going to go, it's not going to go up forever? How can you pick that point? Well, you can't. So with covered calls, we just pick a point. And in the call away process, that's when you have to have some, you got to be not married, you got to not be married to the stock where, it's easy to want to jump right back in, but could you wait a week? Especially on a stock like Reddit, you should definitely wait a week. There have not been many, there's been a few rallies for sure that were like structural changes, but those typically were felt in that, this was specifically off of earnings and information that was gathered that got us back to where we thought we should be. This was a gap. People realized like, oh, wow, Reddit makes money. Cool, right? Like this was the clearest gap of all time to me that I can't believe people didn't see this sooner. And this run up was like pretty well deserved. But eventually we dropped all the way back to the bottom of the gap. That's crazy. And the whole point is if you just waited and got in here, you missed literally nothing. Like literally nothing. And this is true for every stock that I know of. The only question is, when is it going to happen? So that was a long, unnecessary explanation for picking strikes. And more than that, patience, right? Like just having some patience and realizing that I don't think Reddit is going to go above 300 and stay there forever. I do think it will eventually hit 500, personally, somewhere out here, all right? And I am definitely out at that point unless there's like some serious reasons for additional things that they plan to do in the long term. They transform their business again. But that's my target long term. And until that point, I expect it to be a flowy, bouncy mess on Reddit. Like ONS. ONS is another one where I think you can look at it and say, where's ONS? So let's just type it. Like it's all over the place. I mean, look at how high it's gone, but then it's dropped. Didn't drop all the way back to the $1.50, range or anything like that. But it went all the way back to where it was before these spikes multiple times. And we'll probably do it again. That's okay. We don't need to get in here because we're going to miss out. And I also don't think it's going to go to zero from here. Right? They don't only go down, they don't only go up. All right, let's see. What did I miss? Adno. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, don't be making fun of Huma on me. Let's see. Huma. Where is Huma right now? Huma had a few good days that gave us false hope. I can't even find it. Let's just type it in. Did it end red on the day? Oh, it did? Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, this gave everyone this like false hope. But I have no saving grace here. The only thing I could say is that we had some institutional buy going on here, which was exciting. But I think we need some real whale flow. Thankfully, we have quite some time on them, assuming you got the January 2027 leaps. And I do think that all these are going to converge in the next few months. That's one thing that we might look forward to is some sort of like mega cup and handle. I hope it doesn't go that far down. But this is not out of the question. And oh, by the way, that's too far. So we need it to be shorter. Maybe something like this. This is safe. If this happens, saved. Everybody is happy. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Huma's a tough one. I look to Young Ember, and on my file it even says that is a Young Ember play. That's, I think, right? Yeah, it just says Young Ember. Like, I got Muffin Man driving AI, which, ooh, that's another one that I gotta apparently stop following other people on leaps. Not big positions, but just not having done anything in quite a while on some of these. So it is what it is. Double bottom again. I thought that was a double bottom, and now we have a new double bottom that we're about to hit next week. Yay! It's only up from here, right? I guess I can get rid of this trend line that never happened. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Not every stock is going to be a winner. We'll do our best. What else did I miss? This looks like the notes you take on the phone. You draw basketballs and stuff. DT, that's good. CoreWeave out at 300. Okay, I like it. I like this. This is a fun conversation. We should talk more about this stuff. So here's like the basic math that I did for. We'll go back to Reddit just for a second. Reddit. The reason it's $500 is my target is because the market cap is 43 billion at 230. So when it was at 250, it was basically 50 billion, close to that. So 100 billion market cap is where I expect Reddit to go long term. And that is what gives us the $500 price, excluding dividends, which doesn't exist, and dilution events, which we haven't actually had for Reddit. They don't need it, which has been one of the nicest things about owning them is they don't dilute their shares, and that's been fantastic. So if we look at CoreWeave at 100, the math is simple. We just have to multiply by 3. 150 billion market cap does not seem outside the realm of possibility to me for what they do, the size, the growth that they've got laid out there. that all seems reasonable. Now, PE is what? That's right. We don't have, we don't make money yet. Soon, TM. I do think it's very reasonable though. Let's take a look at the financials. What do we got for revenue? I mean, it's not negative, right? It can't be negative. Capital structure, valuation, growth and profitability. So, I mean, revenue's happening, right? It's purely a profitability thing that I think they'll figure out. But I think they make promise money. That's right. I think, this is definitely, there's a little field of dreams, in my opinion, as it pertains to data centers. And I think it's a fair thing to assume that this capacity will ultimately be needed. If you build it, they will come. I mean, you can drive up a main highway and see all these warehouses built all over the place, and they were empty. But all of a sudden, they're all full. Who's putting all that crap in there? I don't know, but they're selling space. And I think the same thing is inevitable for data centers. I think it's inevitable. Even as they get more efficient with power usage and better hardware, there's some sort of law or rule when it comes to energy that we'll continue to come up with energy savings, light bulbs going from filament to fluorescent to LED, etc. And yet our energy usage only ever goes up. We fill the envelope, the entirety of the envelope of what's available always, and need more. All right, let me read what Showcase is saying. This is important. Not that they need it or not. The argument is the order of when the supply appears and when the demand appears. And if the supply arrives too early for liquidity to support, those were a lot of fancy words. Showcase definitely sounds like he knows what he's talking about. I don't know. I tend to believe him with those words. But It may be true, right? And the question is, at what point is there's going to be an inflection point in that equation? But the fact is, we don't know what it is. And I think AI usage is going to be an avalanche, not a find the right point of like things measuring up. I think there will just be a point of, oh crap, even with all this, we still don't have enough. That's my guess. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but as I see it, as I see the usages of AI increasing, where I did this little business course thing where the guy was like, "Hey, we're going to use AI to help us," and I was like, "Oh, cool. I wonder how he's going to use AI to help us." And it was, "Hey, do this in ChatGPT." I was like, "Okay, do this in ChatGPT. Take the output of that, put it into Perplexity." He was like, "Okay, put it into Perplexity. Cool. Okay, now go back to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT organize it because Perplexity sucks at it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I go back and forth, right? So I'm using two to do the same thing that I previously would have used one for. And that isn't in itself anything of interest, but I think that translates to the whole agents being developed for specific purposes and uses, and people developing agents to act as avatars where you can have multiple agents performing more complex tasks that one won't do. And the real simple example is I was using ChatGPT, as many people use it, to do things, and you can give it a list of stuff to do, but for some reason, when you go to a longer sized list, the output's crap with the same exact instructions. You're like, no, just do it 3 times. Why do I need to give you a separate prompt every freaking time, dude? Do the whole thing at once. And it's like, well, you get junk. So like these problems, as they solve stuff like that, I think it will just continue to explode outward in terms of like a tree where each branch has multiple branches coming off of it that have multiple branches coming off of it. Where that ends, I don't know. But my whole point is, I'm not sure it does end. And I think like you can infinitely go in terms of adding complexity, which just will exponentially increase the power usage, the data, the not just the power usage, but also the computing usage. Now that's just one dumbass's idea. Okay. What? You agree with me? No, you must be talking to somebody in chat. That can't be me. People who argue about this look at consumer level usage. Yeah, this is one of the craziest things about AI is, okay, I'm a confession. It's not really a confession. It was good. I listened to it. I liked it. Jensen was on Joe Rogan. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to listen to Jensen talk. I don't care what he talks about. And Joe Rogan goes, what about AI turning into like the Terminator? And you're like, oh my God, that's such a Joe Rogan thing to ask. Jensen, you've got Leather Jacket Man sitting in your office and you ask him about his AI turning into Skynet? Really? Come on, dude. There's a million things you should be asking him. Like, anyway. I was impressed how Jensen handled it. So if anyone has like done any AI classes or courses, you know what it is. And people can't seem to, and Jensen talks it correctly, right? He's talking about it like, no. It's numbers, dude. What do you mean what it thinks and consciousness and all this stuff? He's like, it's numbers. It's predicting. It's a machine. It is a machine. You turn the crank over here and this thing happens over here, right? Like numbers line up with numbers. There's no consciousness that is making decisions based on what it feels like. It's based on the math, ultimately, zeros and ones. And you could just tell that like people do not grasp it. They're like, but it talks to me. And he's like, I know. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to look like it's talking to you, but it's a machine. And he's like, but it seems like it has feelings. I know. He didn't go that route. Like you could tell Jensen's like, he doesn't get it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I made it about 20 minutes into it. I'm like, I can't handle this. You just wasted one of the best guests that you could ever have on a 3 hour podcast asking it about Skynet. Ugh, killing me, Joe. Like we're good buddies. Um, yeah, I don't think people get it, and I don't think analysts get it. I think like what percentage of people use AI to its potential? I think it's I don't use it to its potential. I know ways you can use it in much more. I don't want to say professional because I'm not sure that's the point, but like just much more specific output usage. Right? There's people who have 15-page prompts. The longest prompt I've ever written is like 4 lines, but that's how far you could take it. So where in that mix do people really get it who are making decisions driving the price in one direction or another? I think the average and even like the bell curve of people who know exactly what it can do on the analyst side financially just don't know quite how far some of this stuff goes. I'm sure there's specialists and people who do get it, but I'm also guessing they don't have the same voice that carries as far as some random ass JPM analysts. So that's where my head stands on it. I think it's still undervalued. I love the $300 price target. I think I'm going to draw that line. We're going to call it the showcase line though, because I can't take credit for it. But yeah, I think this is where you really need to say what is the exit, because at this point, what happens? Well, I have caps lock on. There we go. So yeah, let's do it. Let's hold till there. And that'll also do really well for CoreWeave X, because that would mean they're going to be at like 600 after they split 7 times. Hey, Superman, good to see you as well. I will continue to think of you as Super Mom every time I see your name for the first time. Have I tried Anthropic? Dude, I would try Anthropic if it wasn't every other advertisement that I've gotten on Facebook and Instagram and anything else. I don't even use that stuff that much, but it's all over the place. It's crazy. I agree. Shop is another one that was like misunderstood. It is very interesting. They do. So I liked Shop when it was 50. When was it 50? Oh, maybe it wasn't 50. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. It was down here. That's where I liked Shop. And man, I really wish I stuck with that one. Not as good as Reddit, but not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I remember we hit like almost 100 and dropped to 50, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. But I was still working full time, and I did not pay attention to or follow through on a lot of these things. And I was a boglehead, whatever, at the same time. So I couldn't do anything but buy VT Sax or VTI. That's just how it is, okay? I know it hasn't been 50 in a while. You're telling me. But it was a good time when it was. Yeah, this was like a earnings drop or right before earnings. I forget what it was that did that. That was before earnings. Yeah, and then it gapped up. Yeah, it was some weird news. Anyway. What could have been? So we're all tangents tonight. I haven't talked about what we did this week at all. Let's hit on a couple of things real quick. So again, good week. Talked about rebalancing. Biggest spike I've seen on the chart in a while. The deck dookie is gone. That's kind of cool. So I don't have to look at that anymore. And the thermometer has officially started. I love it. So we made a decent amount of trades this week. By we, I mean me, but you're going to live vicariously through me as I talk through them. Sorry. And it started with a swing trade on NBIL. That is the NBIS 2X. Sold this at $14.50. I didn't have a great cost basis, to be honest, but held it knowing that this was, again, inevitable that it was going to spike back up, and got out of it for a nice little profit of a couple $1,000. Fine. But I also had guessed, and this, I would say this was purely a guess, that we were going to drop back because NBIS was doing this thing, if you remember, this whole week of up, down, up, down, up, down, testing off of this $100 line on NBIS, which was 13 bucks on NBuild. Now, I waited till we had a nice spike up. It was this day I sold it, and then I bought it a couple days later at 13, and a little bit too soon for that matter, right? Or I was out for part of the day and missed some of this drop, but got back in. There's been opportunity to swing it every day. I haven't out of laziness, to be honest. I probably should have. But I could have got back out at 14.50 again and got back in at 13 again. Whatever. I think this is in a experimental account that's doing surprisingly well. But I think I need to do more limit orders and pick entries and exits throughout the week, and not just like buy it and hold it and walk away. It's still a swing trade, but I guess what I'm saying is I want to experiment with different time domains, intervals for those swing trades. But it was a good one, and it worked out well, and I'm back in it now at 13. I got a better cost basis on it now. Too light to kill a bottle of wine solo? Are we talking when the showcase got hammered? How did we get to that? Oh no, Alec is drinking wine. That's right. Good seeing you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you don't Merlot on the floor. Oi, next up was Galaxy. Galaxy was a fun one because I didn't close it for much. 30% for possible rocket. I had spider senses tingling on this one, and we'll take a quick look at why. This is why. I saw this happening, this bull flag. And, this is one of those things where people discount TA and whatnot. They don't work 100% of the time. They have, probabilities of how frequently they work. But I was looking at this on the daily. I'm like, it looks like a bull flag. I'm going to listen to myself for once. So I BTC'd here. And then I waited till here to sell some CCs when we were at, or maybe... No, it was still in the 20s, so it had to have been on Wednesday. Yeah, and I sold a far out CC, $40, which I was like, all right, unlikely we're gonna touch that. I'll give it till March, and holy rocket, this has been a wild one. This is another one of how do you pick and choose? Could have done a weekly, but I thought a weekly would get me in trouble. And by in trouble, I just mean I would have capped myself out. For any premium, I had to sell it at $30 for this week. And I was like, that's just dumb. Now, we might retest off the 100 for sure. That seemed likely as well as a prior testing point here. But luckily for me, I went out a bit further and said, let's do 40. Let's see what happens. We got earnings between now and then. And even if we hit this and bounce back off, I'm okay holding it for that amount of profit. That works. It's a patience thing at that point. Ideally, we spike up above it and some idiot exercises it here and I get called away early, and that would be a godsend. And then I'll get back in it when it inevitably drops. That's kind of what I expect. Right now, you can hear people talking about it like a lot of other stocks where they're like, oh, it's going to go to 80. 80. Yeah, maybe. But can we just look? I can't even get it on the chart. Look what we're talking about. Is it likely to be at 80 by April? I don't know. I guess it's possible, but that seems insane. There's going to be back testing along the way. So even going out a year to get to 80 is insane. Again, it's possible. Crazier things have happened, right? But I'm pretty happy with 40, which, by the way, is halfway to 80. So from zero. So anyway, that's how I picked that one. It had good premiums. It was over $1, and the share appreciation plus that is great. I'll take that. So, but I was very happy with the acting on the TA here to get out, and because this was capped at 35. This would have been called away at 35. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Actually, it wouldn't have been. Was this? No. Oh, this was February. So I BTC'd it. Thank you. to me. I BTC'd it and then resold it. That's what I did. Okay. For some reason, I thought I was for this week. But yeah, again, no premium. There would be no premium on a 35C for this week. Not at this point. It had to go out past earnings to get that juice. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's fine. It'll work. And again, if I have to watch it above 40 for a month, I honestly don't really care. I did that with ONS for a while, and I did end up rolling ONS. But we don't have to talk about ONS this week because there's nothing going on with it. All right. See you, Gunner. Thanks for stopping in. GLGG. You just like it because it has GG in the name. Such a child. He's gone. He didn't hear me say that, right? Yeah, so I was talking about that earlier, Showcase. I am trying to peel out of AI and data centers a little bit. So I sold or had 100 or 800 shares of CoreWeave called away. And like it's a 30% position between CoreWeave, NBiz, CoreWeave X, and NBill. So like, yeah, like and I'm not even counting Galaxy. I guess I should count Galaxy here too, which I'm realizing isn't on my holdings list. Whoops. I should put that in there. Why is that not on there? What is wrong with me? Okay, I'll fix that later. I'll take out ADBG, put that in. But yeah, I have too much data center exposure. So I'm transitioning the data center to energy. Anyway, tangent. Again, we covered that. Next up was Reddit. Reddit was a dirty little you know what this week. I was in and out of that one. Oy, too many times. It was like Debbie Does Dallas all over again. And I enjoyed it. I sold and bought back CCs at 255. Did it again at 265. Did it again at 275. Then did it again at 255 aggressively. I was like, this is gone. Definitely losing this one, which was fine. Again, because of Reddit being Reddit. But then Reddit was Reddit, and it wasn't a problem. Yeah, we closed at 258, 260, right, for a day. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely getting called away. Sweet. I'll take it. That was going to be another 4,000 or 5,000 in profit of share appreciation that I was happy to take. Because again, you'll get an opportunity to get back in. But instead, I bought to close it. I didn't have to, but it was so close to the profit percent wise that I wanted to have a chance that if Reddit did what Reddit does and matched this down with an up, I would have resold it again. I would have done it again. And I would have liked it. Because Reddit does that type of stuff sometimes, you know? These big bars that just match each other. Down, up. Like they doesn't matter how big the bar is. It can just match it on the way up. Didn't happen. I'll resell it next week and we'll do it all over again because it was great. So good times on you, Reddit. You're 70% in AI. Oh my God. What are you doing? You're literally part robot. Maybe you're Skynet, I'm realizing. Try to diversify, but you don't have strong conviction on anything. Okay, you do, though. Those three things. Okay, those three things for you. Precious metals can certainly be 30%. Exactly, NEM. NEM is, Ein is calling out. I've played NEM. I wish I stayed in it. I had it at 80. And now I don't. I keep it on my watch list because of you. This has been a wild, like, I remember when you first told me, everybody about it, was like here. And I remember looking at the chart. I'm like, okay, this is a ridiculous run. Everything is super bullish. And then I zoomed out even further. I'm like, wow. Can I really do this? And then look what happened. It dropped. I don't remember if I got in here. It was somewhere over here. But then I got out. I'm like, oh, maybe it's over. Nope. And now we're at 115 or something ridiculous. It's been a crazy run. And look at the whale flow. There's a ton of whale flow. Institutional buying, whale flow. RSIs are probably good. I haven't looked at RSIs in a while. I don't look at RSIs nearly as much lately. Maybe a little overbought. Okay, fine. But overall, like, yeah, it's super bullish. Maybe not the best entry point at the extreme all-time high. We'll probably wedge again, right? Maybe wait for a drop on a wedge somewhere lower on the fib back test. I bet the weekly needs a back test for sure on the 80 MA. Yeah. So like maybe wait for that. But otherwise, I mean, that's kind of like part of your personality a little bit. You obviously have conviction there. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze you on YouTube, but just from what I've seen you talk about, I think it's something worth considering for picking how you pick your conviction. I think that's a interesting thing that we don't talk about that much. It's like, how do you decide you have conviction? Like for me, Reddit was real clear, and then NBIZ is an easy one for me because this was where I gained conviction. Microsoft made it real with this deal that caused that gap on the daily. And since then, I'm like, hell yeah, I want NBIZ and CoreWeave, but I have too much. So apparently I don't have 70%. Maybe I don't have too much. my big thing is I want to get back into maybe some Lilly type plays. So like that's where my diversification is headed next. But I don't think there's anything wrong with data centers. AI is different enough from shop, is different enough from precious metals. I don't know. Maybe you do some sort of energy play along with the data centers and go data center adjacent at least. Break the 70 into half and half or whatever you want percentage wise. NBIZ, you joined early because of the cash thing. Yep. Space stuff. Rocket Lab. She has like 10 shares. He has 10 shares of Rocket Lab. It's not enough. Not enough. What is Rocket Lab doing? Oh, I see it on my chart. Oh, it's up. Ridiculous. Is this the weekly? No. Holy. Dude, look at that. That's absurd. By the way, cup and handles were all over the place for ASTS and tiny little handles though, and Rocket Lab. They both did it. They both did it pretty nicely. But I like them. They're too expensive for me to get into now. I don't want to touch them here. I will wait. Lunar too. Yeah, actually no. Lunar might be the only one doesn't feel too expensive at $20 a share. I mean, a better comparison would be looking at the market caps, obviously. 3 billion versus 42 billion versus where did Rocket Lab go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. What? No, that's employee count. No, what is that? Versus 50 billion. So Rocket Lab and ASTS are actually way closer to each other than I realized. I thought ASTS was the most expensive one by market cap. Apparently not. Apparently not. Buy more. You could buy more. Yeah, we talked about that this week. I think that's another interesting point of getting shares called away does not mean you're not allowed to buy them again. I think Frazil was talking about it with Reddit, and it's like, yeah, I got called away at like 220 or something, and I never got back into it. I'm like, okay, well, you had a chance. You could have done it again. That happened this week. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a like flawed approach or thought process that a stock hit a number, shares are gone, and you're missing out because you missed out on like this gap of growth. So like if you sold the stock at $100 and now it's $115, yeah, you might have missed $15 a share price. But if you think it's going to go to $150, buy the freaking stock, man. That's a huge gain. Why would you not? Well, get back in. What are you doing? Come on. You can do the math. It's pretty straightforward. But a lot of people struggle with that. I do too. I've had that issue too before. Not with Reddit, but a few different stocks where I feel like, I can't. It's too late. I've missed out. And then you realize, oh no, I didn't. I can get back in. CC a dollar above cost basis all the time. Get yeah. Oh yeah. Especially so if you well that's the wheel obviously, but if you have like M Finance was talking about this today on After Hour in a post. We were talking about Galaxy getting called away. I think it was Galaxy. Well, it doesn't matter. And he had 35 or 30 C's, and as it was going up at 30 when he thought it was getting called away, he sold puts at 30. And I was like, oh, that's smart. Why not? If you have the spare capital to do it, obviously. And you just literally in that case, the downside is you get more shares, actually. Ideally, if you do that below cost basis, even better. But the upside is if they get called away, you also get paid on the CSP. This is a win-win. So I like that approach. That is going to be something that you have to keep in mind as you pick position sizes and trade position sizes, specifically when you're selling and getting into a position. That's the type of thing that you can leave room for, which is kind of cool. Okay, what are we up to? It's also how you ended up with 70%. No. That's not how you ended up with 70% CoreWeave. I saw your trades. That's how you... Okay, we're up to CoreWeave. CoreWeave was good. I got a little BTC action in here and resold it. Let me put these more in line with each other. Oh, no. These are different trades. I can't do that. One's on 1,000 shares, one's on 800. The other ones, okay, so I bought to close these for profit, $500. I resold it for, here it is, for 55 cents, which ideally I should have waited a little bit longer on this one. And we ran up, so I rolled it. I rolled it and got a net credit of 750 or 700 on this position to next week. This is tight. I might actually, this position, because my cost basis on these shares is higher, it's like 130. I may continue to roll out this one over and over and over again, and really roll it out once earnings is announced, and get back to like 145, 150. I'm not looking to get out of the CoreWeave shares, but I am looking to juice them with premiums as much as possible. And rolling's been profitable. So the key on rolling, if you didn't know, is you want to roll it before the price goes above your strike. Once it goes above your strike, it gets significantly harder. However, you can use run-up opportunities where the 100C would have been called away, which probably would have been fine. I could probably buy the shares back on Tuesday at $100. Like, it's a good likelihood that we touch it. However, in this case, it's just cleaner to roll it and get paid again. So I'll do that, and then I'll probably just, if I have to roll it out again to, say, 110, which will be the next likely strike, I'll do that. And then if I have to roll it out again to like 120, I'll do that. And you get the picture. It is nothing wrong with doing this. Eventually, it'll back test, and you'll get out. Or you just roll it out and eventually decide, okay, I'm done rolling it out. I'm out to Christmas, and but whatever. I'm going to make money on it. Which is basically what I did with ONS. You walk away. You pick an exit point, profit appreciation that makes sense, and you walk away happily. That's kind of how I look at it. So nothing wrong with some rolling. But I did, as I said, I peeled off 800 shares for a little bit of profit on top of everything else. And between CoreWeave and CoreWeaveX, we walked away with almost 8K this week, which was great. I mean, I did close the CoreWeaveX's for pennies. I think that makes sense when it's so cheap. In case it were to drop, and it's not that I didn't want the shares. I did want these shares because it would have averaged down my CoreWeaveX position. However, I thought it was better here to free up the capital, which then I used for shares. And I increased my position on HIMS and on CONL. So rotating my positions a bit to lower priced equities. And if we look at, where is HIMS? Did HIMS actually finish green? I don't think so. I'm doing real bad at keeping track of my stocks here. Oh, it did. Just barely. Okay, cool. But like to me, this is a great place to buy Hims. I think long term, it's a stock that I'm not recommending the stock to anyone else. By the way, it's you gotta have a strong stomach for this one. But I was happy to get it at this price and average down. And so by using your premiums and freeing up the capital, rotating from strength to weakness and an off cycle maybe here. Don't know if that's exactly what's happening or not, of course. It's a very bearish chart and it could drop further for sure. But I averaged down and that felt pretty good to me. I did the same with Connell, which is the 2x of coin. And same deal. We kind of got like a triple bottom thing going on here. So yeah, it seems like for me, it was a nice place to get some lowered cost basis going. And I will continue to do that for these positions that I believe in long term. And I do think coin will have its day with, it's very much tied to Bitcoin, obviously. And this drop was all noise anyway. This was based on the bill crap that was delayed because of coin, which is bullish. I mean, they're listening to coin and what they have to say. So to me, this is all Gucci. And you can see institutions feel the same way. They're buying here too. Do the kids still say Gucci? Probably not. SMR, I tried to get into SMR. My rotation efforts did not. This was a nice couple percenter here. 2, 3, 3.25, 3 3/4, something like that. Not huge dollars, small position. But now that I peeled off the CoreWeave, I will take a much bigger stab at this one, and I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe next time I'll do 2,000 shares. Seems like a good position size, and then I can take the other half, the CoreWeave shares, for something else. Lightpath called away, got out of that. Didn't really want to be in them much longer. They had a great run. I'm not a long-term fan of them, to be honest, and I think they're going to retrace personally. I know there's a lot of people who are bigger fans of them, but they're way overextended on the weekly. Yeah, I got called away way above. I sold this way back here, by the way. So like, I don't feel terrible about this at all. It peaked just the last couple of weeks, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be out. Got some profit. Call that a win where I come from. So we're out of Lightpath, and then Bull. I tried to buy to close these 4-cent contracts, and 17 of them closed. I hate Bull contracts. There's no movement on these at all. And I'll keep trying to close these. This is actually incorrectly stated, but whatever. This should be probably closer to, I don't know, whatever the number is. Actually, no, that is right. Oh, I just can't do math. No. It should be double this. So, yeah. Who cares? It's like, we're talking about like $10. And that was it. That was my week. It was a fantastic week. I loved how it felt. It felt great to see green again for the first time in a long time. I know all you in the Discord felt the same way, as we saw quite a few success stories for the first time in a while, right? Gotta be honest. November, December, it was just a lull for everyone. We had to sit and wait. But everyone did great. Waited patiently. You feel dirty if you buy it again? That's awesome. I just saw that. December was dark and stormy, which is one of my favorite drinks, by the way. If you haven't had a dark and stormy, it's the rum version of a Moscow Mule, and I don't like vodka. Story from college. Don't need to go through that one. But yeah, I do like rum, and it's good. It's a good drink if you haven't had it. All right, that's it. That's what I got. We've been going for like 2.5 hours. Any questions from the peanut gallery? Anything you want to see? Wait, your bedtime story. What sounds great? Oh, dark and stormy, as they do. Now the bedtime story. Fine, I will tell you real briefly. It's not even. It's kind of gross though, isn't it? I thought I'd been going for 2.5 hours. It's only 1.5. So I'm such an old man. Okay, so I am going back in time. You've like very far back in time now that I'm thinking about how long ago it was. And when I was a freshman in college, back when, AIM was still a thing, AOL not so much, but AIM was still a thing. Totally irrelevant to the story, by the way. But we wanted to get drunk, and I was 17 when I started college, and apparently it's difficult to buy alcohol when you're 17. Who knew? Who knew? But there was a senior down the hall who seemed to like me. I did not like her back because of reasons. Don't need to get into that. But I did like her enough to take her vodka, which she had a plastic jug of. I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure I had a label on the plastic jug. It might have been maybe she made it, distilled her potatoes in her bathtub or something. I'm not really sure. But I filled up a Poland Spring bottle of this swill, and that became my drink for the night, which was apparently a lot of vodka. Again, I don't know. I didn't know. I had only really drank beer at this point, long before high noons were a thing. I used to drink Rolling Rock. Ugh. Ugh. That was gross. And like malt liquor probably because it was cheap and I had no money. You do what you got to do. So anyway, I got this Poland Spring bottle and I was like, cool, thanks, see ya. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, I got to go. We're going to a party. She's like, oh, bye. I looked back and I was like, man, I was a dick. That's unfortunate. So yeah, I walked back to my room to hang out with some other girls and show them, hey, look, my prize, my trophy of vodka. And I was like, but I don't like vodka. Like I took a sip, I'm like, this is disgusting. And they go, oh, you got to mix it with something. I'm like, I don't have anything to mix it with. I go, I have pink lemonade mix. And one of the girls was like, oh yeah, that's like Tang and vodka. That's a thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So apparently people mix Tang, which if you didn't know was basically like Sunny D powder, I think. I don't really know. They used to have commercials of people stirring it up. I used my pink lemonade mix and I put it in the Poland Spring bottle, shook it up and tasted it. And I was like, oh, it's still disgusting. And they go, no, you don't understand. When you make Tang and vodka, you have to put a lot of Tang in. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I have to put more pink lemonade mix in. So I put more in, like the full big scoop into this bottle. And I did it like 2 more times because it still tasted gross. Well, eventually it basically turned into syrup. And I still drank it because I wanted to partake. Anyway, long story short, I think I got through about half of the bottle. I probably weighed 140 pounds at the time. And I was very sloppy drunk. And I think I ended the night with some other paraphernalia being passed around that I might have partook in. I don't know. I can't remember. So I went to bed with somebody, which was unfortunate because I got up at like 3. We went to bed at 1. I got up at like 4 a.m. to violently empty my stomach into the toilet through the mouth, by the way, with a massive pounding headache, like maybe the worst headache of my life that I've ever had. And I was like clearly dehydrated and realized I was dehydrated because by then I had drank enough to know that I was obviously dehydrated. So I drank obviously a bowl of water because that's all I had was like this massive soup bowl that tripled as the cereal bowl in the morning, the ramen bowl at night, and apparently the I'm hammered and need to drink water cup. And so I drank a big bowl of water, went to bed. An hour later, got up, threw up again, drank a bowl of water, went to bed, and did this like 7 times in a row until eventually it stopped happening. Slept through all of my classes because, again, of course we did it on a school night. That was smart. I think I slept till like 5 p.m. that day. It was awful. And that's how I realized that I don't like vodka. And I generally never drank it again, with the exception of a couple of times. I went one time to an open bar, like a free open bar in New York City that one of my friends invited me to. And I'm like, cool. As long as it's not like an open vodka bar, this should be great. And we get there, and I shit you not, it was an open vodka bar. It was like some vodka promotion. I just sat there. I'm like, are you? This is only a couple years later, by the way. I'm like, is this really happening? There were also strippers there. It was very odd. I don't know why. It was the weird. I don't even know who got us invited or got us in. We were still underage too. None of this makes sense. But they had vodka, and I tried to have like cranberry and vodka, which was almost enough to get me through it. But then like the reflex started. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. And I had to leave. Very odd. I mean, New York City can be a weird place, but that was, yeah. And the other time I had it was much better, actually. I was able to handle it. I went to a Polish wedding, and they took bottles of vodka out of the freezer, and that's like, they just kept going around the table, pouring shots, and we were eating all this sausage, and then we would do shots. But like something about it being frozen, high quality vodka, it didn't taste like whatever I had that night. That did not taste good. And I was so stuffed that, I don't know, it just worked. Like that night it worked. And generally I never touch it otherwise. So now, yeah, but Dark and Stormies are good. We had to find other alcohols that satiated the thirst, and we did. Did I go back to that girl when I was drunk? No. It was a different girl. Actually, we literally, not that anyone will believe me either way, no matter what I say, but we literally were just sleeping in the bed. It was like just a necessity thing. There was nothing was ever going to happen there. I had no interest in that either. But yeah, it was, yeah. Okay, I'm digging a hole, I think. You're in the age of four low. Alec is back? That's impressive. Jolly Rancher vodka, is that like Zima with Skittles in them when they they girls in high school, I remember, drank that? Is that even a thing? I don't know. I don't know. Oh man, the stories are never ending. Fortunately and unfortunately, there's some. Sometimes I look back and I ask myself, like, did that really happen? How did we never get arrested? What were the cops doing? How did they let us get away with this stuff? I don't know. It was a wild time. I have no regrets. That was a lot of fun. You dissolve the Jolly Ranchers in the vodka and run it through a filter? Wait, why do you filter it? What are you filtering out? No, cops were not cool back then. We just ran away from them. Okay, 100% showcase. That is true. If Ring cameras existed back then, I'd be all over. What is that stupid neighborhood app? Is it called Neighborhood? I don't know. Yeah, it would not be good. I mean, yeah, I was fast, and we would just run. There was no way they were catching us ever. When were cops ever cool? Yeah, exactly. Literally. Wow. I'm friends with some cops now, so I gotta be careful. I have some good friends that are cops, and they're awesome. I will say that. Now I look at them, I'm like, I'm sorry you had to deal with absolute shitheads like me when I was a kid. Your job is important for that reason. Also, well, I don't want to get into that, but cops in Toronto run barbecues. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, well, Canadians are a different breed, obviously. Like you get like, don't they just apologize when they pull you over and be like, I'm sorry, but you didn't know this, I'm sure, but you were breaking the law by going 10 miles over the speed limit. And it's just like an apology fest back and forth until you're like, yeah, we don't need to document this. Let's bygones be gone, big bygones be gone. Canada, oh, wow. Dude, Alec is definitely drunk. Shots fired right there. Speaking of Canada, I have your label, by the way. I should ship that out tomorrow. I have it packed. I haven't gotten to UPS yet. It'll go out soon. Oh, there's a Canadian flag in YouTube. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think how many times I dealt with police. I only ever got caught once, and that was dumb. Like it was the one time I decided not to run away out of I don't know laziness. There were 30 of us, and we just stood there. Some of my friends ran away. Um, yeah, that was fun. They just like went through and got all our licenses, and eventually we got all grouped together at court and had to pay a $20 fine. It was very weird. It was the biggest slap on the wrist ever. Uh, Actually, that was not the problem that night. Oh, that was the night. Oh man, there was a party going on. We were in a park that was surrounded by houses, and it was a Long Island park, so it was tiny. And one of my friends threw an empty beer bottle into a party in the backyard and hit a lady, apparently, allegedly, in the head. And so they called the cops on us, and then the people from the party chased us and threatened to kill us, which they might have done, honestly. Like, I look back and I'm like, that could have happened. I don't know. But by that point, we dispersed really effectively, and nothing happened. And they lived in the neighborhood. Like, I think they knew where all of us lived. But they probably woke up the next day and they're like, oh, we threatened to kill those kids. That probably wasn't kosher. Probably shouldn't have done that. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was an interesting time. Dude, Alex, definitely. You need to cut off the wine, my friend. Soprano country. What is soprano country? Like Brooklyn? Or were they in Jersey? I don't actually know where the Sopranos took place. I feel like that's something I should know. I was gonna look it up. Was it Brooklyn? Dude, I didn't really watch the shows. North Jersey. Okay, I was close. North Jersey. Yeah, well, that sounds about right. Bus story? Dude, I told the bus story already. You don't need to know about the bus. You don't need to hear the bus story again. I can tell you other stories. Okay, well, Brooklyn was Showcase. Didn't you live in New York City at one point? Brooklyn was a different place long ago. Like long, long ago. Now it's all gentrified. Who can say that word? Why do they make that word so hard? Is it gentrified or gentrified? So yeah, Brooklyn's a different place today. And The Sopranos took place in the 90s. It is hilarious. You grew up in Brooklyn? What? Where? I was born in Marine Park. Well, not born in Marine Park. I lived in Marine Park for the first 2 years of my life, which means I don't remember it at all. My dad would drive me back to the house when we were kids and be like, you remember this? I'm like, Dad, I was 2. No, I don't remember this. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Did you go to Roland Roaster? Have you heard of? I know Bensonhurst. Did you ever go to Roland Roaster? Dude, that was the shit. We would go into Brooklyn just to get Roland Roaster. It was a burger place, and they had crinkle cut round fries that I'm not even sure looking back were good. My dad was obsessed with it, but it was so good. Do we like Galaxy? Yes, we like Galaxy. We like Galaxy. All right. I think that's all I got in me for tonight. We went 2 hours, almost. And it was good. It was a good week. Thanks to everybody for jumping in. It was nice talking with everybody again. It was like a really thick potato chip, okay? It was crinkle cuts are by default very thick potato fries, but they could be called chips. In England, they'd be called chips, but not crisps. Not that thin. It's still one. Look. Wait, what? No, my thing says 1 hour and 49 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, I'm happy to talk about it. But I'm rambling on stories from when I was young and dumb, and I'm going to get myself in trouble again if I put too many stories into a single episode. there's, there's too much. Although we looked this up, I don't think you were here, Showcase. We looked this up last time, and maybe you were here. We determined we were beyond the statute of limitations for Grand Theft Auto, which was a legitimate concern for a moment there before the story. Uh, the good times of stealing a MTA bus, driving around with your friends like it was a party bus for 4 hours. Where were the cops? Why were they not questioning an MTA bus driving around neighborhoods? I don't know. Yak about SMR, Cypher, and Prodigy. I think it's Pagaya, isn't it? Pagaya. Why didn't they just name Pagaya Papaya? Look, Showcase, I was not the menace. My friends were the menaces. I was just along for the ride, like literally and figuratively. It was a lot of fun. I didn't drive the bus. My friend drove the bus. The weird thing, and I said this, I'll repeat this part of the story. The only thing that doesn't make sense about the bus story, minus the whole, my friend stole a bus and picked me up, was my dad told me, hey, your friends are here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I'm going out. He's like, okay, have fun. And I realized he knew, had to have known they were there in an MTA bus when they picked me up. And he didn't ask any questions. He was like, well, this is normal. This happens, I guess. Oh, kids will be kids. Yeah, that was a fun one. I don't, it's funny because like that night itself wasn't particularly eventful beyond the bus part. Like in the bus, we just hung out and like a bus route picked up more friends, drank in the bus, had fun, but like nothing else happened until I got dropped off. So the story is literally the getting the bus, we're on the bus, returning the bus, with the key in the ignition and a quarter tank of gas left, and them locking the gates going ever after so you couldn't get the bus again. It was a good time. We used to throw bricks at parked cars. Well, that's safe and smart. Yeah, we were most definitely trailer park boys with access to too much more society and housing and cars and other things. Oh man! All right, the stories don't end there, but we will save stories for the next time. I'll think of another one that you guys might find fun. That's gonna be it for me tonight. Thanks for coming around, Yolik. I hope you feel better tomorrow. Hydrate. Maybe drink some Pedialyte or Gatorade or Element Salt. I don't know. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you all next week. Love you. Bye.